Well, then let's talk about people who are ugly on the inside and the out.
Yeah.
Let's go on to our now weekly segment.
No.
What's up with Bill Maher?
No. This is the last time we're talking about Bill Maher. I can't do it. You send me these clips, and I can't even get
We have to
through.
come full circle with the final thing.
Okay.
He,
I don't know.
he had...
I wanted to say something before because I was like trying to think about our last conversation on him, and then he did in I don't know if it's this clip or the full thing that I watched. He talked about something, and I specifically wanted to mention it, but so I don't forget it, because I'm frustrated that he's looping. He's saying the people that were against him doing this.
So you don't want people who disagree to have a conversation?
Yes, he's saying that, and listen, I hate partisanship. I think that the two major parties in this country have intentionally and unintentionally, in both ways, have and with the advance of big tech and things like that further divides us. All the kind of perfect storm of things has happened, so that we are more and more extreme, and it's harder and harder to talk, but it's not that hard for us as people to talk to other people. We're out in the city and we run into people all the time, blah blah blah. But
most of your friends are transphobes.
No, I'm just saying. Like,
no, I know what you mean.
I'm saying, like, but like our leaders, it's because of this system that happened. They will not work together. It is ingrained that they will not work together. Blah blah blah. So I'm not mad that. I'm all for the message of like we should talk to people, blah 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 blah. But I don't think that's truly what has happened here. I don't think him going to talk to Trump is a genuine conversation that will lead anywhere. And the guy that said that this was just an opportunity for him.
We'll play that one.
Okay,
but like that I agree 100% where he keeps going like, you don't want us to have a conversation. I'm like, you didn't have a conversation. You had dinner.
And also the thing of being like, saying like the man I see here, like saying that's good, that the man I see behind the thing is not crazy. He's actually very reasonable. He actually listened to me. And then being like, the performance art that we're seeing is not the real person. I don't give a fuck, because the performance art is what we're getting. I don't care that he's an actor who is like
if you
tolerable
if he
behind
came
the
to your
scenes.
house and tucked you in and gave you a warm glass of milk, that doesn't fucking matter.
It doesn't matter to the legislation, to the executive orders, to all the things that are happening that affect real people. And so I'm just saying this disingenuous thing of being like, anything happened here, or he's actually going to filter in your thoughts on Iran. That us saying that you calling this out is us saying like, no, you can't talk to any Republicans. I'm not saying that. I'm actually saying like, I do think that we as people should be talking, and we should be against all these leaders, and I don't think you having this conversation did any fucking thing other than stroke your ego for one night,
of course,
and let him have this opportunity. So your dumbass fucking fans who are laughing at these fucking stupid ass jokes in that studio. Oh, where was I? In the blowjob room from 1997. We're still there. Like this fucking guy. I'm losing the thread because I'm just so.
No,
I hate partisanship. I hate what it's done to this country. I hate that it does not allow us to get anything done productive. So I'm not saying that.
And by the way, this motherfucker is a guy who's like leeched off the partisanship and
he's made it his whole thing. That's how he made a career of it. Being like going on weekly and being like, George Bush is so dumb, and like doing doing a whole thing for your whole career has profited. You've made us hate. As a little kid, I would watch Bill Maher sometimes, and when I was dumb in fucking high school, and be like, oh wow, this liberal. Like,
sure, you like that he talked up against religion. Like, listen, I think there's a degree where like he was like, religion's full of shit, and then what do you know? At the end of the day, it becomes more about Muslims, and he goes, well, Israel was promised to the Jews in the Bible. You ever heard of it? Also, and you're like, I can't believe that you're quoting the Bible.
Also, when he ran down his list of things they agree on, and I was like, cool, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome, cool. Like he's like, I actually do think, and then he lists like
this. Oh, okay, here it's even more because there's a longer video which I mean every beat it makes me sick. First he says, here's a list of all the insults Donald Trump has said about me. And he lists them all, and he's like, and then I got the president to sign it, and he did. And it's like as if
people acting like, yeah,
that's as if that's charming, as if it's, and also he's chastising his like his liberal viewers for not being open to the conversation while talking about this person who publicly called him an idiot and an asshole and a loser. But it's all good now because he signed the thing. He also had this moment where he said he went to the closet, the blowjob room. And that's the merch room. And he said, and Trump gave me a Make America Great Again hat and didn't ask me to take a picture in it. And I appreciated that. He's like, I appreciate he didn't make me have the awkward moment where I had to stand up for my morality for 2 seconds, where I had to say, Donald, you know I can't wear that hat. People would lose their minds. And but here's the best part is that I think in his mind, and I've had this conversation with other people who have the same mindset. He keeps going, this is not a summit. I can't do anything. I shared my thoughts about Iran. That's him saying opposite things.
Yeah.
That's him saying, actually, I did maybe do a really amazing thing, but don't hold me accountable at all.
And he listened. And so, who's to say? Like it is this very Trumpian.
Maybe
very
I'm actually
Trumpian.
am a hero.
Like very.
If nothing
I don't
happens,
know.
I never
we had
said
a
I was a
conversation.
hero.
No, I don't know. It's just such a fucking douchey like guy. Like this guy. They actually are very similar. And
what
you're
did Trump get out of it? He looked like he's like a reasonable, cool, sensible person without
now,
any actions to back up that other than tell his servants to give you a good steak.
And now your fan base of people who are mad at their college students for being against the genocide, liberals.
Yeah, your fan base that used to be focused on like women losing their reproductive rights now have made Trump
want to say the R word and like want to like okay, yes, you got all those things back, that the things that really mattered to you, which were saying the R word and making sure that your college kids can get thrown in jail.
And you
if
forgot that we now have a
genocide.
Conservative Supreme Court that is gradually going to chip away and allow us to export innocent people, and they'll go, we can't get them back from the jail.
Here's why I don't respect it.
And Bill Maher, and you were going to tell me you had a good dinner after that shit? After some of the shit that's been happening recently? And you're going to go up there and be like, he was kind of fun. Do with that what you will.
Here's why I don't...
Fuck you. How could you go to dinner with him? You did nothing. You fucking lame piece of shit. You smarmy... Bad comedian. That's ultimately it.
It's bad. It's like all these.
But it's bad because it's nonsense. It's bad because it lacks substance. It's bad because it's hypocritical. It's bad because it just complains about like the thing that the college kids, they're crazy.
But also being like making your whole like again. I get back to the thing of like being like you're saying that. Us calling like making fun of you for this is that we don't want people to talk. We don't want real solutions. We want it to be us. I am not saying that. I truly am not saying that. I'm just saying that this is what you did is not that. What you did is not that. You did not go to have a thing where all you confirmed was what you already wanted to have confirmed by agreeing to this, so you could have this thing. And all he gets is for you to give a nice little PR thing about him, and you get to like pretend that you stood up to him in a couple very lame instances
and also
that are not standing up to him. And I just feel like I think why I struggle to do it is I really struggle to imagine so many scenarios where if I was invited by Bill Maher's people to have dinner with Bill Maher, I would say no.
Yeah.
So
I think to Bill Maher is Bill Maher to Trump.
I'm not saying that the thing of like, that's just me being like, that's just not something I want to do in my life.
And also like the lack of memory, like oh, it's an honor that the guy who you think tried to overturn an election. Do we still believe that? And
Yeah.
is that
Do you
something
still
that's
believe
worth
that?
forgiving someone
Yeah.
just because they have
And
power? And if you're gonna go, listen, I do think that was the most country threatening sin of all time to thwart democracy. But we have to have. But instead of even doing that, you go, he's pretty charming.
Yeah.
Why don't you shut the fuck up? You don't need to say that. You don't even need to say that. Even if I saw Trump and Trump like said, hey, I love that R. Kelly pedophile joke.
Yeah.
I don't have to go up here and be like, well,
I think none of it surprises me. We all can agree that he can be funny. We all
We've said
can
it.
agree.
We've said it in clips.
That I don't need that proven to me. I don't need that like, oh, the fact that he's not a total.
But you're not going to hear me come here and be like, listen, he's hilarious. Do with that what you will.
Yeah.
Maybe that means we
Maybe
should trust
that
his
means-
economic plan, you fucking moron.
Or how he's dealing with DEI or trans people. Like, what are you talking
or that
about?
guy sent to the prison. Jeez fucking Christ! Every time I read about it. So let's play. So he does.
we're
Bill
gonna
Maher
play
does this
more,
panel that fingers crossed I'll be on soon. And I don't know who this person is, but play it first and then yeah.
I just wanted to report exactly what I saw. I did it to the best of my abilities.
Counterpoint?
Yes.
Counterpoint?
Yeah.
Bill, I think you're right in saying that people have made too much of this, okay? It's not the Ulta Summit. You're not Churchill. Kid Rock is not Stalin. Trump sugar shit isn't FDR, okay? So, yes, I believe too much has been made about this, but I think you've fallen into the trap. I think that I represent 99% of the internet when I say this, is that you've played the game of proximity is principle. And what people are worried about is not your motivation. We believe you. We love you, Bill. Everybody loves Bill, right? So I'm not questioning your motivation. I'm questioning Trump's, okay? And if we can say that you went there in good faith, but maybe, just maybe, he wasn't there in good faith. I mean, you sold him on the Iran deal and he took it in. I mean, give me a break, okay? So the idea here is that your motivation is sound, but what's the impact? And I think a lot of people out there, fans of yours, people who love you, people who are fans of you, like me, I've been fans of you.
You don't have to patronize me, dude.
Okay.
I don't know you.
Fair enough.
I never met you.
I'm just saying that this comes from
not
a place
everybody
of
has to
love.
like it.
All I'm
That's
saying
what we
is-
said. There are people who didn't want it to happen at all. You sound like one of them. It's
No,
okay.
no.
But did
I don't
you hear
not
what
mad at it.
did you hear what I said?
Yeah.
Like, what is the alternative to not talking? Just sit at your lunch table and don't talk to anybody.
I talked to him. I've interviewed Trump. Here's an interview.
That's
Trump.
not it. That's just not an interview. This was not an interview.
I agree with the principle of engagement. I'm just saying, from his perspective, you have to understand that people out there know, all Americans know, that for him this was a PR stunt, and in his view, you were a prop in that PR stunt.
Okay, you know what?
It is-
Okay, if Bill really wanted to prove something, he could go and have a sit-down meal, private with no cameras, for a Trump supporter. Okay, that doesn't have money, that is just a normal fucking person, and have a conversation with them and come back to them instead of two rich fucking assholes sitting in a room who don't really have to deal with any of the consequences of either of their decisions, who have both profited off of a system that tears people apart, and they're gonna go and have a meal with a regular fucking Trump supporter and then report back on that and what that experience was. That's what you're talking about. You're not talking about this guy, the president of the United States, who's not. Anyways, so
And no, you're 100% right. And I wish this guy hadn't gone to these lengths of like, we love you, Bill.
No.
But I also think that's why it bothered him so much. I mean,
did.
again, that's kind of his general MO.
Yeah.
But like, I think it's this feeling where he goes, anyone who complains about this is a blue-haired, non-binary one. And it's like, here's like a dude who loves you, shockingly.
Loves you, yeah.
And with that understanding, thinks that you did a wrong thing. And that line about the Iran deal, which was
I'm not
so.
I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm saying I'm calling out the.
You're hypocritical.
He's hypocritical,
But you're
and-
blind. I truly do believe. I think my sympathy towards people is I do believe people think a lot of the times that they're not the bad guy.
Yeah. Well, of course they
It's-
have to live their lives.
I guess some people you go, they must be less concerned.
Oh yeah.
But I think like Bill Maher goes like, I'm not gonna meet. I don't know. I don't want to give any sympathy though. You know what this is. You know what the game is. You had a good time.
He's profited off the game. He is the game. I mean, the thing is, like, how different is it from the Fox News hosts and Bill Maher? Truly. Like, I mean, he would say I'm the comedy thing, but he doesn't really do comedy in it. I mean, and it's like, it's all political. And so I don't know. I don't really see a difference in that thing. And I think the way it works is people see the clips. They think he knows about politics. You know, he's kind of, that's been his thing for, you know, prevents him from having to write jokes. And to me, it's just, I think I hate him so much, especially as he takes this right turn, because he has a lot of like centrist and like Democrat, but like, we don't want to go crazy. And this gives them an avenue to just gradually be like, well, it's more complicated. And it's like, you really don't have to do that with Trump. Enough things have already occurred that were bad and have destroyed this country and made it unrecognizable. I would just say focus the energy on actually talking to Trump supporters rather than the man who makes the decisions.
Of course.
And like focus the energy there. If
he believes, though, I really do think he believes. I had a conversation with this guy, and he maybe he took something in, and maybe he'll be in the meeting. But it's also this like altruistic view of the world where like the decisions are made out of like strategic and not purely financial motivation. Like he's not making a lot of the decisions he makes has nothing to do with like whether it's good or bad or whatever. It's like, well, this helps in this way, my own thing.
Yeah.
And it's like I've learned from talking to my father, there's no point. And that's the same way I feel about talking to Trump at a nice dinner. He's not going to change. He's literally 83 years old.
I don't know.
6'2",
again,
225 pounds. Incredible.
Yeah. I mean,
so fuck you, Bill Maher. Fuck you a million times over. I just like you. These comedians kissing up to power like this, to power. That means that you're not. I've never been one to talk about punching up and punching down, but I do believe like complaining about those in power, complaining about the ones that are taking all the benefits, that are at the top of the goods and the means and the money and the power. That's who you have to be criticizing. And if you're sitting down and getting dinner with them and going, it was actually a nice meal.
Well, it's just two millionaires having a meal together. I mean, it is the thing of like, there's not a, it's two rich guys. And I think that's, I don't know. I'm frustrated because, I talk about it a lot, but the work that I've done for a decade now, is directly related to making our elections more democratic, allowing everyone, no matter what registration
dead,
they are,
alive.
No.
Yeah,
everyone should be able to vote in all publicly funded elections. We're against closed primaries. Ending partisan gerrymandering. All of these things that are to make the system more representative of Americans. So I feel very strongly about truly everyone getting a say to hopefully fix some of the sort of the disparities we're seeing in what the parties have done to make sure that they can, decide who's getting elected by gerrymandering things or closing the primary, like all the little things that suppress people's votes. So I feel very strongly, and I want to be clear because I'm not saying like don't talk to Republicans. I'm not saying don't talk to. I truly am like Trump. Don't talk to Trump because he not going to listen to you. Yeah. I am truly saying that he's not going to listen to you, and all you're doing is making it more okay for him to keep doing things and try to convince others that that's normal. Like, oh yeah, like, oh, he might run for a third time. That's not something another president has done. And for you to be like, oh, I'm going to go, and he's definitely going to, if he's still alive.
If he's still alive. Listen, talk to Republicans. If I didn't talk to Republicans, I wouldn't have a co-host.
No!
You're listening to The Downside.
The Downside.
With Gianmarco Soresi.